The problem with autumn in the countryside is while the days are getting shorter, my to-do list is just getting longer. It's not food, it's grit.
Such good chooks. Okay, you're starting to get a bit aggressive. I think that's enough. No more. I can't spend all day in here with you guys. I've got things to do. That lawn is not going to mow itself. Oh, my knees.
It feels really autumnal here today, which I'm kind of enjoying because I was worried we'd skipped straight over autumn and gone into winter. There were feels like temperatures of just above 0 at the weekend, and I had to light the fire on both days. And I am not ready for winter. I have got way too much to do before the cold weather arrives.
Where have all these clouds come from? I've got to mow the lawn.
This is a job that I'm happy to see the back of for the year. I am ready for leaf raking season. Two bits of lawn down, 2 to go. I'm going to have to borrow a scythe from my neighbours to cut all of the bits that I let grow over the summer, but that is a job for another day. I've got big plans to put bark pathways between the raised beds this winter. It's on the to-do list alongside doubling the amount of raised beds and doubling the amount of rainwater harvesting. So I need to get busy if I'm going to get any of that done before the snow arrives. To everyone who suggested bending back the sharp corners on the log store roof, you've probably saved me and the NHS some valuable time and resources. I really need to remember to split these hostas up over the winter because I left it too late last year and I'd really like to make more of them. They were my mum's and before that they were her mum's, so I feel some kind of responsibility to keep them going as long as possible. I'm not worried about keeping moisture out of the compost, but I am trying to stop the sycamore seeds from infiltrating it because sycamore trees need no help from the likes of me. In hindsight, under a big sycamore tree might not have been the best place for my compost bins, but they're there now and I am not moving them. I put carpet offcuts over the top of them last year to try and keep the heat in, but they shed loads of synthetic carpet fibres into the compost, and I'm not super keen on that. I was going to cut this hedge today, but it is absolutely full of bees. And if that's not a good reason to put it off till next week, I don't know what is. I'm hoping that more of my tomatoes get a chance to ripen before the weather gets too cold, or there's going to be a lot of green tomato chutney on my horizon. Maybe not the most impressive of bean harvests, but there were several points during the growing season where I didn't think I was going to get any at all. Half of the seeds rotted in the pots, and the only ones that actually germinated were ones from plants I grew 2 years ago, and I had no idea if they were going to be viable. So that was reassuring. And then they were completely battered by the wind. But I've managed to get some, and I'm not sure if I'm going to save any of the seeds to plant next summer or if I'm going to grow dwarf varieties next summer because I think they'll be easier to protect from the wind, and I'll just put a couple of beds of them in. These are bolotti beans, and I grow them to dry so that I can use them in the winter for soups and stews. And there's nothing more satisfying than making a really hearty bean stew with beans you grew yourself. There's still quite a few on the plants left to harvest, but I'm going to wait and see if they get any bigger first. And as well as beans, I have harvested a leaf covered in tiny snails, and I know exactly who will enjoy snacking on those. Hey, Chooky Chooks. I come bearing snacks. My shoelaces are not the snacks. Oh, you ate all of those in seconds, my friends. And my favourite one didn't even get any. Oh, poor Scraggy. You did get the first one though, so that's okay. Hello. I don't know what variety these apples are because the trees were here before I moved in, but if I don't pick them now, they're going to end up as bird food. In an effort to clear some space in my freezer, I spent most of Sunday making jam. I made a batch of blackcurrant and a batch of raspberry and redcurrant jam. I think I made 16 jars in total, and I only stopped because I ran out of sugar and jars. Okay, let's see if we can eat these apples, or if they need to be turned into a pie. They are quite tart and could probably have done with being left on the tree for a while to sweeten up a little bit, but the birds were already starting to eat them, and I would rather have tart apples than no apples. I might make them into a pie, because almost nothing is made worse by being made into a pie. While it's not raining, I should probably try and make a bit more garden progress. In case you can't tell, I have never pruned anything before, but I thought a buddleia was quite a good plant to start with because I don't think anyone's ever successfully managed to kill one off. I was going to use this branch to replace the seat on the swing for the chickens so they might actually use it. But I went to cut it up and realised there are loads of bugs living under the bark, so I thought I'd just put it in the run for them to peck at for a while. And when they've eaten all the bugs, then I can turn it into a swing seat. An upside to the days getting shorter is the return of sunrise season. I've seen more sunrises since I've lived here than in the rest of my life put together. They're beautiful and a lot easier to watch now the sun's rising later. There's nothing in there, it's just a jar. That's my shoelace. Can I have my jar back, please? I've got a swing upgrade. Look at that. For you to not care about. Oh, no, it doesn't move. Look at that. I traded eggs for apples with one of my neighbours, and I'm hoping that combined with the ones I picked yesterday, I'm going to have enough to be able to make and water bath can a batch of apple pie filling. 12 cups sliced, peeled, cored apples. Well, how many apples can you get in a cup? I don't understand why we're using cups when we could be using scales. What is wrong with the world? I'm not entirely convinced that canning the pie filling was a success. I think there was quite a bit of siphoning from the jars into the water because the canning water was pretty cloudy when I'd finished, and I think there's less liquid in some of the jars. So there is a chance that I will be making apple pies for everyone in the neighbourhood later on. All of the jars seem to have sealed, but they are pretty sticky with pie filling, and that's not a risk that I'm willing to take. I should probably be making my own pastry, but I didn't expect that I'd be spending the day making loads of pies, and I've got loads of other things that need doing, so I picked up some ready roll short crust while I was out running errands. I am absolutely not expecting this to be a success. Oh no. I mean, I tried. I've never made apple pies using a pie filling before, and it's a lot more liquidy than what I'm used to, which is just apples. I'm pretty glad that I didn't promise these pies to anyone, because I can overlook their appearance if they taste good, and they really, really don't. I tried one and I couldn't finish it, and I don't think that's ever happened before. I'm not exactly sure what apple pie filling is supposed to taste like. I'd have guessed apples and I'd have been wrong. I was going to try and find space in the freezer for the rest of it, but I think I'm going to put it straight in the compost and chalk this one up as a failure. I got a comment from someone concerned I was getting less authentic. I don't think there's any danger of that happening. I'm going to cut the rest of the grass because I don't think I can mess that up. I need to put fence off an area for the chickens on the top of next week's to-do list because I would love to be able to let them out of the run during the day, and I'd quite like to stop them from wandering into the road or into my vegetable patch. But I feel like that might go just as well as trying to get them to use the treadle feeder. So, who knows? Some weeks I feel like I achieve less than others, but I'm going inside to make a roast with homegrown potatoes, homegrown carrots and Yorkshire puddings made with eggs from the hens. And I think that's what it's supposed to be about.